white slips and any questions, please be sure to write the question on a white slip and hand it to one of our volunteers. If you do not have a white slip, please raise your hand and one of our volunteers will give you a white slip. Barry, you're supposed to be the stage.
What did you say?
Anyways, Barry.
Me?
Yeah, it's both of you doing massive. You ready? Alright. Are there any examples of Gwangju culture that have come directly from the May 18th uprising? Can you give any examples?
Can you repeat again?
Any examples of the culture of Gwangju? Gwangju itself that has come from the May 18th uprisings. Can you think of anything?
I think it's the being on nationalism. For me, Gwangju is the most nationalistic city in Korea. So just make until now, so I can see that if we go outside Gwangju, we don't really feel anything. I even talk to some students and some like 35 years old people. Like, I asked them about Gwangju, I asked them about democracy and everything. They don't even know about it. So I just saw that here in Gwangju actually. So the love for nationalism is still here. I think even it's small, but still there.
Do you want to answer as well?
Yeah, just add to talking about the culture of Gwangju, there are two immediate things which come to my mind. Is one, the culture of resistance. What we see on the streets, especially during the May, the resistance from the people coming and coming together again and celebrating the democracy again today in this country. And second thing, if music can be a part of the culture, I think March for My Love, the song, I think it's one of the most powerful songs of protest songs I've heard across the globe. And that is still prevalent among not only in Gwangju. I've been out, I traveled, and I've spoken about this to people. Like when I'm trying to do my research for my book, I'm also talking to a lot of people. So, and this comes and how this song evolved from Gwangju and became a symbol of other resistance outside. The two incidents I can think about culture in Gwangju.
This man asked, what will you do to spread the message of the uprising in your own country?
Actually, like what I said, we have a very, very big similarity, actually. Historically, martial law itself, and even the time. So, we're actually doing it already, but like what I said a while ago, I learned a lot from here. So, whatever I got here, I'm working in a museum. I'm also a teacher. So, I will teach them. I'm not aiming to do something so big that I couldn't even chew, and I will just do something that I can. So for me, to make it possible is to teach them and to help my museum. I mean, I think it's a very important, like, what I did a lot of museum hopping here in Korea, and I learned a lot. And I wish we also have it in my country. So maybe I will work with some people. Actually, one of my ambition is to have a peace museum in our country. So because of all of this trauma, conflict, history, and everything, I think everyone, even justice, is even hard to achieve. So I am a victim. I know how it feels. So what are you gonna do if you cannot even get it? So I think everyone wants peace, and I think that's the most important. So maybe we can work. I think it's easy. I mean, it's easy if you will do something little by little. So I will teach them to show. I will disseminate whatever I've learned here in my country, not just in my country, wherever I go. Actually, that's my promise.
Why do you think that other Korean cities don't celebrate or focus on May 18th uprising so much? Why do other cities not really do it too much?
Maybe there's a long answer. Like I figured out the reasons, but I'll just touch very briefly on this. maybe the entire regional divide in Korea is quite, there are two divides which I find very strong in Korea. One is the regional divide, the entire, the west and the other part of the country. So, and there's always, what I figure out when I have spoken to people is always looking down on people towards one particular area. So that's quite common. And second, two very clear fraction in the politics of Korea. In the South Korean politics, very two clear fraction: the conservative and the progressive. Like in our democracies in India, we don't have this fraction because we don't have any progressive wing, which is very strong. But in Korea has a strong progressive wing, but the conservative section is also quite strong here, like a significant section. Like I remember when we were in Seoul and we were on the Seoul ferry, the protest side, a man just pulled my hand and he asked me, "Don't children die in your country?" I said, "They die." "Do you still make a drama like this on the road?" I said, "We do protest. But what is the government's fault? Every citizen's life is government's responsibility, and if you die, government has to be accountable." I think that is the answer I can provide here. Like, the clear regional divide and the clear political divide which is happening here, and a very authoritative state of Korea.
Let's perhaps expand on your point. Can any comparisons be made for the May 18th uprising to any other uprisings for democracy, or perhaps struggles in your own cultures?
To many uprisings in India, a narrative, similarity can be drawn with the May 18 uprising, but the complexity of India, again in terms of Korea, is one of like being a huge country with so many cultures. But we had this very strong movement around 1970s. It's called the Naxalbari movement. Naxalbari movement started somewhere in West Bengal, bordering Bangladesh, Nepal and Bhutan, three countries. It was a peasant uprising. It was an uprising by the landless farmers in India. It took the similar course. It also became towards an armed uprising at that time. And it was crushed badly by the state that time. It was followed by the era of emergency in India. India suffered 3 years of emergency, so everyone was executed either behind the prison and other things. But what it brought in India, not across India but in two states, was land reforms in India. Land is the biggest fighting point in Indian the entire Indian politics. So it brought land reforms which gave the landless, especially the Dalits, who were the lowest of the caste hierarchy, the access to land and the right to have land in India. And there have been many other students' movement which came up after that uprising in India.
When it comes to my country, during 518 uprising, people are shouting to leave the martial law. So in my country, I'm doing research actually about the massacres happened during martial law. So as of now, we have 45 massacres list. So we're not just talking about 300 or 1,000 people. A lot of massacres happen in our country. That's why I'm here actually, because I want to address that. I want to help them to share everything about their history again. And totally, I mean, it's similar. So we had Escalante massacre. They were killed in front of City Hall. So until now, they're struggling for compensation. We're helping them actually, and a lot of massacres. And the similarities, this May 18 uprising, they said they're it's what do you call this? It's about they're like spies of North Korea, right? So in the Philippines, those people who've been killed, mass killings, they did a lot of those things. They said they're New People's Army. So these are the communist army in our country. So they just made this like fabricated cases as well. So your NPA, so you will die. So they and Sagod massacre is one of that. They killed all the people, not just the people in one place. And early in the morning, they just killed. They just took the girls here and boys here, and they killed the boys first and the girls with the kids, old or the elders and everybody. It happened, but the difference is it's not even in our history book, and it's never been recognized. So I think that's a big challenge for me when I get back to my country. So yeah, we have a lot of similarities.
We've got time for 2 more questions. One last question on this topic would be, how does it feel to study the May 18th revolution as opposed to May 18th uprising, than studying similar conflicts in your own history? How does it feel to you personally? Is it like more emotional to study your own culture's uprisings, or is it easier to study Korea's?
For me, it's very emotional actually. I know I'm not Korean, so I even say like, oh, before I was thinking about just my own country's issues actually. But when I came here, when I saw those pictures, when I saw the people talking, I was like, so I was feeling like, this is not just because I'm a Filipino and they're Koreans. I really felt them. I know how it feels. So now I learned it's very emotional. Plus, I even understand even my own trauma in my life. It's like, so this May 18 history and May 18 learning. So it's very, very emotional. But of course, I don't want to be emotional in doing something. So I think I still have to balance everything. So it's emotional, but I think the most important is for me, it's history. We should learn from it, and what's the most important is the next generation for them not to experience the same. So for me, the best thing to do is to educate them for not these things to happen, because some people will die without justice for sure, but at least maybe we can do something for not for these things not to happen anymore, for kids, to the next generation, not just Korean but also some other countries like us experiencing the same situation. Yeah.
Okay, one last question. Where can we go to learn more about the May 18th uprising and perhaps more about the May 18th Foundation? Where can we go to learn more? Yes.
I think the best way for people who are in Gwangju to learn about the May uprising is visiting the May 18 Foundation, and there's a big amount of resources over there. Even not only the books, the videos, and many other things over there, and there's the people who are willing to talk. I remember when anyone walks in, and especially someone from outside who can't speak Korean, Phil Din has been very proactive in going and talking about everything. They'll take you out to the cemetery and other places, because one of the mandate of the May Foundation is to spread the truth of May 18. Other places, website eng.518.org or w.518.org, and yeah, there are a couple of blogs also up there. There's some of people who write on May 18, and the best place to learn about May 18, what I found, are the people of Gwangju. So if you really want to learn about May 18, I think the people of Gwangju.
For me, I think you should go to some museums as well. Go to Jeju Museum, go to Busan Museum. People don't really give any importance to these places anymore. But we should learn the history. We should trace it from the past, so that for that to understand why it happened and why that 1987 things happened. So we should understand the history. So I think it's also very important to visit some historical, not just May 18, but other related Democratization Movement history as well. So I visited some museums, and I learned from them. So actually, I really want to go to Sudemon Museum. So I think it's also good to learn from those places. So aside from May 18 Foundation and I wish May 18. Also, I think May 18 cemetery, you will feel what's in there actually. And they also have their museum. And just go there. I really want to go to that building so that you will feel what happened. And maybe watch this movie entitled Splendid Holiday. That's where I started.
Okay, that concludes Q&A. I'm sorry if I didn't get to answer your question. We simply run out of time. However, if you have any